pot keeps him alive from that Venge Wave
That
of
is an
Terror.
expensive salve. It only did like the first 1 second of value, but it was the only second he needed. That's a very expensive movement.
Exactly.
The Shadow Demon does, and there's not going to be a lot happening on the side lanes, I wouldn't expect. Just because the Morphling's really passive, and the Ursa is also, like, he can get really active, but with winching on the Undying, I don't. Although the one placed by Tiny is less likely to get clipped by a sentry, that goes for the high grounds.
Double damage
yeah,
top, and
very,
Hancho is heading for it.
very meta ward. Yeah, work for them. I think that Tiny might get let through, because just showing that even if he has such a bad lane, that he's unable to recover and actually, like, he did a lot of work, right? You look at his net worth and you think about how much impact he had during the...
Yeah, on the snap as well. So, well, looks like they found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's gonna just start punching him as fast and hard as he can, and I think
Not catch a break in game 2. They're getting absolutely decimated, to say.
They are.
Like, look at their scorelines. 1-6 Morphling, 2-10 Vengeful Spirit, which is, now that I think about it, but they haven't actually decided what hero is going in what position. This could be a tiny one here. This could still be a wind one. QB is on the snap. Okay, it's the +5 Tiny. Okay.
Be enough to burst through these heroes, and they knew it, right?
He had the net worth doing well, but the problem is the rest of his team got a bit sacked. I think they're not going to go back to the drawing board, but they're definitely going to think Spirit Breaker will opt to charge middle for like the 4-minute rune, the 2-minute rune. He won't actually play bottom very much, and unfortunately I think it's going to sack the Mars just a little bit too much here. Because the Necro's going to Necro no matter what. You can't actually get Whirling Axes and Fervor by level 2. It's like Weaver, kind of. Really strong.
Oh, good God, Weaver. That hero, as a support, is nuts at the moment too, isn't it? Gonna walk away here.
1200 HP. I don't think he's dying there.
Jesus, that's
He's getting a lot of farm here. I gotta give him credit on the axe.
But she has so much damage and so much harass for the first few minutes of the game, and we're seeing that applied here onto that troll. He's feeling it.
Especially just putting 1 point in win run and then just trading 3 seconds. God, it's so obnoxious, man. Why does he keep move speed?
But something that I just want to point out before this game gets on the roll, because this won't come across on stream,
is which heroes can't be seen by their allies. But basically, if you're in the arena, you can only see in the arena. If you're outside the arena, you can't see in. It's like an impassable barrier kind of thing. You can place an observer.
Can I just point out?
And 3 Mars, they're just gonna play around the arena. I think they'll play slow.
Seems simpler to execute, right? Like it's a Mars ult, it's a troll ult, it's an invoker winning his lane and rotating. Like this seems like we are having a game. Dagon.
Oh yeah. This has been a treat to watch so far. Okay, so they will wait for Roche to go bottom and
Zeus
then get the...
alone here. Saves out, he can't, and all of a sudden Johnny is caught out of position and dead once again. Tombstone keeps...
He has 100 HP and he gets in the Tombstone.
Yep, keeps that Spirit Breaker alive.
No way.
Is that a mid-Sand King?
Playing Sand King, yes.
Who did we see in the pro scene just play this? I'm sure I saw someone in the pro scene just pick this recently. Sea Salt's Confury. Oh! And Hunter goes on the Undying. He steps out of position and he goes down as well. This game is pretty active, isn't it? There are kills going on. All over the map.
Ceaseless Dirge did act.
Wiped over and over again, and so the bluff works. The Zeus just sort of mans up a little bit, and they go, ooh, maybe there's an axe that's going to blink Dake on me. Maybe there's a bear that's going to blink on me. So, was 1 here, or are they running the Tiny as a 1?
So, AE Rejects have done something brilliant here. Gubala has played Snap 3 earlier in the tournament. Snapfire can be a mid.
Again. He can stack 20% damage amp in lane. 20% from minute 1, he can stack 20% damage amp. You buy 6k items that do that, and he's coming with him, and I think they're about to try and shut this axe down as fast as they can. He gets the taunt off, but he's already switched to strength, so he's okay. Gubala trying to hide in the trees, but Hunter George is here with the stun, and that axe is dead. Okay. Nice.
I don't think there's going to be much.
Okay.
Not going to be much going on in bottom lane.
RFA is putting some pain on these two very thick heroes, though.
Doing this kind of shenanigans, they would be losing these fights, and you can see...
Look out! The bear just jumps on the backline and deals with that Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, no! Reverie caught with his pants. But they're starting to feel him out. They've got vision on him, and the Invoker's rotating over. Mars is here, the slow comes out, big zap from the Rubik, he throws off his Ghost Shroud, but then the stun comes out immediately from the so close, and Prey is running now and he's a very fast hero. Tiny, hungry, goes for the beach ball play, and is absolutely successful with it. Love a beach ball play, used to get those all the time back in my day. Oh, right, like, I was such a strong hero. They're feeling around, RFA getting a bit cheeky, Gubala, chosen the creep. Oh, in comes that huge Mars arena, and the Tiny elects to blink into the arena, which is
only you until you lose the game with the hunters. It's hilarious. Shadow Fiend ban from
Shadow Fiend ban. I was just about to say, we've seen this here.
Ironically, the Dagon's doing so much
now.
work.
Holy, does he actually get dunk stacks off of the Vengeful? He does. I don't know.
think he did.
He didn't?
George gets the Agonyms, he's going to control all of the go-in from Radiant and just nullify the crap out of it.
Here's a question. You're talking about finding an answer for the Morphling as a core, but I've seen Undying played as a 3, and I've seen Spirit Breaker played as a 3. Not
because you can cast it while stunned, but not while silenced, and Dire has no silences at all, but they have a lot of stuns.
Okay, Axe here.
The Spirit Breaker has just been the MVP of both these games, I think.
Prey caught out of position once again, charged and deleted by that Spirit Breaker. Referee, you're juggling it against 3 heroes here. The rest of the team isn't with him. This game without me. I've got things to say. Why is it that you were so keen on getting in to cast this one with me?
Pretty much know everyone in the lobby.
Oh, reload going out of mid. Oh, just bring a Tiny for the farm. Okay.
Just a ferry service, I guess. Move him around. So
hey,
the
Battle Fury
doesn't. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Battle Fury up on.
Let's have Radiance.
Hold on, I just bought a Radiance. Maybe for the mischance, but I don't think it's going to matter when that bear is just on top of you, bullying you. Johnny doing his best to keep his Sand King alive. Buyback from Spirit Breaker. They want to end this game. Well, you've got Bear Blink, the Zeus as well. They need to be very careful about how they defend this high ground.
The only way I can see them actually defending is if this Tiny is somehow able to... Players are so famous for so many different heroes. It can really go like any way, but Gachi plays really well with an IO combo. The Mars is exceptional into the Snapfire, plus it's like bread and butter for Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bubs cast. There's been a whole lot of them lately, and tonight I just couldn't miss this game. How is it just going to lord?
These Greaves on Winching are doing God's work for him. And it's insane. So they did change the Roshan's banner. It's not going to leave the lasting buff on them anymore. So these creeps are just going to be standard creeps. Yeah, it's just...
Troll has his 6 and Gubala is a little bit far forward. The power shot misses, but the Troll is still on top of Gubala. They bring all the boys once again. The stun comes out. Shackle to try and keep that Troll off of him, but it doesn't really...
facet. Basically, as he gets more and more kills with his Sadist, because obviously you get 1 stack every time you kill a creep, and you get is it 6 from a hero? And current, I think maybe with no items he'd be the highest HP hero, but we're starting to get into the point where the universal heroes that stack up the double circle at the start of the game.
So much. Gives you the initiation, gives you vision, gives you tower push. Gubala needs to be careful though, because there are lots and lots of these mana stacks building up on top of Gubala, and he
seems that winching might just be sacrificial lamb here. They want to get the necro with the smoke, but winching just dewards. Yeah, I think he protected Gachi there. They would have just run straight across.
Does it again within like 20-30 seconds. He's just comes in with another phenomenal 3-man call, gets the triple dunk. Oh, it must have felt Venji to the back.
Venge died bottom. Oh,
yep,
it's not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for... It's like a known quantity. To get 6,000 gold out of a banner, I feel like is really, really hard. So you're 100% right, they should have just waited for the Roche to go top. Because like a free Ags on this Ursa, he can never die. Hit a little bit. Tiny instant from Slaughter Gang.
Yep.
Okay. So I expected the Breaker to get banned, but I guess taking it instead of leaving it on the table, is kind of like the same thing.
So absolute loser. Anyway, moving forward, let's get straight into this game. We've got Gachi on Ursa, Young Harold on Zeus, Gabala on Axe, Wing Xing on Undying, Raccoon on the Spirit Breaker.
Copying it and then sending it back right back at them.
They're feeling themselves and they're getting a bit cheeky. I just saw Raccoon use his charge to try and make it to the Wisdom Rune before the coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when both of them look like they need something to bring it together. Slaughter Gangs looks like it's the stronger draft to me so far, but I feel like AU Rejects are cooking something, and it's a Windy.
Last night it was an EU team, but I can't quite remember the name.
Damo, you're in chat. Tell me. Lalol. It was Lalol. Thank you, Damo, you legend. Yeah. Lalol, our boy Lalol. Picking the Sand King and making it look hype. So as someone who loves the save support, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm known for my Earth Spirit, but I love Io. I just love that hero so much. I also love Oracle. I've played into...
So it doesn't actually count as a death, it just gives the gold to Hunter. And a
Gachi is sprinting in. Praise on the sideline to try and interrupt him as he goes in, but there is the Diadem too. It felt like they were on the back foot the entire game, and we saw how good these players can play. We saw how strong they were in the first game. Slaughter Gang absolutely killed it, and yet all of a sudden...
Just be because of what the players play here. Like, obviously you don't see a lot of Axe at Riyadh, but you see a lot of the Willow and the Hoodwink that kind of prevents it, and the Underlord where Tombstone doesn't care if he dies, he has a Ceaseless Dirge. Oh, random Ursa kill! Gachi's down!
What happened there? Was he just lurking on low HP? Did Prey take him? Was it Prey?
Yeah, he got slain by the tiny toss go in, and they're not respecting the Sandstorm, I don't think. If he ever gets there, it's going to just ruin AU Reject's day. They are going to look for the second Roche. I think they will see it spawn here.
The double D. Oh, Gachi's hungry, jumping in cover. Johnny Spirit, Johnny, you need to get out of there! And Huncho's brought... Man's just trying to sink some beers and have a good night, and you're coming in here and just harshing his vibe in the biggest way possible. Report Gabala ruining my vibes, dude. Game on this Spirit Breaker. Did you say that Raccoon plays a lot of Spirit Breaker, or is this
Yeah.
like a
How the
okay?
hell did he get up there? Look at where
He,
he's standing and look at
yeah,
the
yeah,
ward
yeah.
he placed.
He
That is
slipped past.
phenomenal.
He slipped past Prey.
I'm glad they're finally moving the IO up top, because a lot of the kills RFA's gotten have just been on the edge of he's playing max limits. If you add one more hero into the mix, it doesn't work. Oh my
God.
goodness. I also got a comment on OD ban again for AU rejects. They definitely don't want Hunter George on his final pick, Outlaw Devourer.
What is it with all these like sweaty things porting in?
Oh my.
They don't have vision of the axe yet, but if he's not careful,
Doobie has
they're
blink
about
off this.
to. Reverie looking, the Sand Kings. God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's bonkers. A little bit better. But we're starting to see some big items come out on the Radiant supports as well. Raccoon is getting real close to his Shadow Blade. He's about 200 gold.
I reckon they might take out they might take out Void Spirit. Oh no, Faceless Void.
Faceless Void.
I was completely wrong with that. I was thinking maybe they want to.
They're looking just doing 6,000 damage at 5 minutes, as Tinies do in 2024. Hey, this Ricochet has caught me off guard as a support far too many times.
How long until it starts? Yeah,
5 minutes.
I don't
We
think
got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. These guys aren't gonna. Oh, I just loaded into the draft. The draft has already begun.
Did they?
So it seems AU rejects have first.
I have very Herald perspective. You're the big brain
I wouldn't have
analyst.
expected it into the Zeus, you know? Like, the Zeus gives, like, vision constantly. But, like, all he has to do to win the game of Sand King is get on top of Zeus and drop.
Really puts Oz and China put some value on this this particular hero. How do you think it lines up with what we can see so far on the enemy team?
I quite like the Troll pick. It's a good 4-2, still open. The Venge 1-3, still open. The Shadow Demon, it's probably going to be 5. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
But Slaughter Gang still have so much
out, pins the IO to the wall, and now Gachi, caught out of position, might be a big scary undead Necro, but needs to be careful. Takes out the Invoker. I didn't even see Invoker on the backline. Here's the first Snapfire ult we've seen in the game, and down goes Rubik. But you need to pick an MVP for me.
Ooh, okay, it's tough. There's a lot of good competitors, but I got to give it to Gubala. So if you look at like the landing stage, yes, he's top 3.
Does Johnny try and take that tombstone, get a bit of gold for himself? Looks like he is.
He should get it. Yeah, they will not be defending. And the Hunter rotation scouted out again. Oh, that would actually.
They play safely. It's going to be hard to kill that Necro. Mars has so much HP, so positionally, as long as they play well. Can't see a lot going on down here. But
I wouldn't expect much to happen.
This mid lane... and Hyper Cannon, and
oh my god.
I love that name so much, dude. Give me more Tasmanian Hyper Cannons and less these guys maybe in the finals, and you are unlucky enough to not make it to the finals, which I think is very unlikely. I've seen your Gyro. Your Gyro is going to rip all the way to the finals. But if you're not, and these guys make it, maybe I'll hit you up again to
kick cells when you can get that one spell off that hero, and then make it do a one shot on another hero.
And tell me, what do you think about the way that the facets, obviously. Green. Wendy tried to help there, but
they're putting a lot of stock into this Invoker, and as it was their last pick of the draft, so it just shows like how much they value Hunter having as a
troll as well. Like there was an Invoker
he out-damaged Hancho George.
Yeah.
Like what is that? He out-damaged Jonathan Sins on the Mars. That's one of his best.
there, and that Spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here because the Baron's on top of it, and down goes the Spirit as
They don't have
well.
the damage anymore.
Strikes me, as the time in the game that the Necro might need to start getting involved, because I'm worried. I know that it needs the farm to sort of start to have an impact.
Playing against a Spirit Breaker, a Troll, and a Mars is going to be almost impossible to have a lot of like momentum and actually play well with the win. So I'm honestly not sure why they picked it here, but this kind of does lock in their picks.
Just unbelievable. And I wonder if IO decides to go for, is it Blitzkrieg or Kritzkrieg, the heal one, the extra magic resistance? Could be pretty good, but then there's not a whole lot of magic team on. Shadow Demon is dead as well. Toss away, but it doesn't matter. The Tiny goes down. Hunter's here. He wants winching. He wants something in return, and decides to even waste his ult to try and deal with this big punching Undying kills on him. Well, let's have a look. Only 3 showing for his kills.
31.
Holy,
That's a lot, man. That's a
46 assists on this to get out of there. Oh, both of these teams are making mistakes, but both of these teams are making sick plays. This is good Dota. This is the kind of Dota that you can feel the pressure on these teams, right? They're strong in the meta, or is this just a specialist shutdown? Is this just someone saying, no, we're not going to give you, what you're comfortable on. We're going to make you play something that's out of your comfort zone.
I think it could.
Troll is a pretty spooky hero this patch. It sort of feels like when it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. I know you can say that about every hero, but when it's a good Troll game, this hero just feels unstoppable. And I know the Oz which there's a charge onto Johnny, and Johnny is not going to see that cow coming through the trees. He's punching him. He does have the ult, so he sends him back to his team. And is his team going to get there in time? Yeah, of course they are. It's Zeus. Zeus doesn't even need to be. There's the stun from Spirit Breaker. He decides to use his ult to push him further out of position. The whole team is there and trying to kill Gachi, but he does have the support of the IO, and the IO will give him some pretty big sustain if he sticks close to him.
He's not dying just yet.
That Necro might be in a little bit of trouble. His team is coming.
Can
IO get him out? Will IO try and get him out? Are they going to try and take this fight? The Avalanche toss comes out. Another huge Mars ult. Their whole team is caught inside it. And just like that, we've lost. Heroes. Is it Slaughter Gang that you're more familiar with, or do you know both the stacks quite well?
I know both stacks quite well, and the next game is just going up, I think.
Already,
I don't know. Winching, possibly. And he is now called a little rat. This could be good. This could be good. Reverie is also a bit tipsy, potentially. He could be a lightweight. It depends on your mid laner. If your mid laner's okay, another Husker, like that's these last 2 bans, I think both games have been OD Husker from AU Rejects. They just do not want to get cheesed by Hunter with a Hunter's Pit. And Slaughter Gang took second pick, Slaughter Gang and second pick Dire again. So again, this should favor the AU Rejects for their drafting phase. First ban on the
goes that Undying. Gachi is here to play though, and it looks like the Dire team needs to run away because Gachi is hungry. He is a big, fat, juicy bear, and he finds Johnny just like that. The Zeus is enough to wrap that kill for him.
The entire map, just building the network leaves. I think Reverie sees the top lane, looks good, and Axe is waiting for him up there as well.
Johnny, 200 gold.
Dire whatsoever. I mean, Morphling did get his Lincolns, but the Dagon unironically also breaks that as well. Meanwhile, Ursa's going to have BKB.
Charge in on Honcho. Annoying purple ball to release their target. So, yeah, alright. I don't know.
I think that 2.5 seconds will make the difference in this kind of lineup. Giving the Venge time to line up the swap, giving the Tiny time to come in with the... These are like the 2 most impactful picks on both drafts, right? Get rid of them. They're both gone. There's no way.
Okay.
They
okay.
might try the Necro again, but I think Gachi.
You're gonna see some saves coming out from Shadow Demon if he's in the right place.
Yep.
So Axe Core goes off, Disruption comes out, and all of a sudden, AU Rejects just has to stand there and wait for that. They decide not to bring the Vision to save the to kill the Invoker, and the Invoker is saved. Just walking away there. Young Harold strolling back to mid. Tiny trying to give him some mana. Wait! All over this map, Morphling goes down to the Axe.
What the? All of
Wow!
And they're going on to the Tiny!
Tiny
Bottom, they're just
out of
driving.
who copped 4 or 5 bans, even in the professional scene.
Okay, Hoodwink ban into first pick Tiny, I think that's kind of expected. Tiny's just, like, sometimes you see it on Sand King, sometimes you see it on Venge. They can get up there into the 600s, into the 650s, really early as well. Even Ursa now, this guy's at almost 800.
Oh, Tombstone goes down, and I think
a really good time with the Radiance. He's done a lot of work with it, and then he just spends 2k gold on it.
Speaking of this troll, toss back from Young Harold, throws the troll directly at Gabala. Out comes a huge shot.
He wants to play into Shadow Fiend because
Can
you can't like play
can we just talk
Tiny
about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an Axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling. Oh.
This is some good Dota, hey. This is what I was hoping for from one of these games.
This is what you were telling me was going to happen. After the first game, I was...
The Shadow Demon, they've gone for an Undying. One of the few saves in the game that doesn't get ruined by Shadow Demon. You can just buy Shard and put someone in a Tombstone for 3 seconds. Or until it breaks. It's pretty low cooldown at this high level, right? It's only 15 seconds at all levels? Maybe?
Double Tombstone?
Yeah.
Refresher shard picked up by winching to this Mars with this facet, and it feels impossible as a save support. And we've got an IO game on our hands, so I really expect that to have some impact this game.
I feel like, you're not going to see many IO saves.
Morphling's just going to try and port out here. No, cancels his port,
TP.
But that might be a mistake, Reverie, because there are 4 Radiant heroes here and they are looking for you. He does have 4,200 HP and is outside his tier 3 though, so he might just live here.
They're both incredibly unique and they both have a good flavor to them. Like, obviously, attack or defense, right?
Yeah.
There's no ambiguity to it. They're both insanely good when you want them, you know what I mean?
Tiny, and the Tiny now has the Rubik rotating in on top of him. The Cold Snap comes out, and so does that huge blast from the Rubik. They're going to try and run him down. Lift goes up, throws him back into the Tornado. He comes out with not very much HP, and I think that's just a dead Tiny on my screen.
No. Oh, well, we're in.
Look at that, and we have a draft. Straight away, we got a look at that beautiful, stunning.
You need to pick a flexible carry that doesn't have many matchup like losses. So, in that position, you could pick like an Ursa, you could pick a Juggernaut, you could pick
What's wrong with me? Why can't I?
Facets being introduced to the game is a huge change. Facet interaction with Rubik. Do you think it needs any changes? Ooh, Io, nice.
It is confusing as shit, man. If I have to be completely honest, having to track 10
what they
sometimes.
could cook up. Look at this cutie Rubik with his little feather shoulder. His own little green Scardy. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get this ball on the road again. But Gachi is on top of the Morphling. Gachi tossed up and is deleted by that tiny toss damage. Reverie does have the charge here if he plays this right. He's looking for something else. He's trying to get trapped. Tinkers. Alright, tell me.
So a lot of these high, what they call high IQ players are actually pretending. If they can't play a 100-0 combo, they suck ass at a game.
Maybe they thought they could play into it. I watched your game a couple of days ago where you decided to just take the gyro into the Shadow Fiend. You didn't seem to care too much about it. Maybe they don't respect it either. More from Power Rangers. Now, I wasn't watching you guys until they told me I should be, and now I've got my eyes firmly set on you. Somehow you snagged Oct as your 5, and he is performing, man. That guy's got...
Did you see it?
I did not see it as well. I was looking a bit at that Tiny, and the... Morphling is feeding
for the second time.
Feeding kills to Gabala.
Right, it breaks the way you want to play Dota. It just doesn't work anymore.
Here we go.
Smoke Tiny is getting a lot of like push bottom, but the cow just, like,
you need to be careful because your teleport just got interrupted, and you
could just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was banned. I don't know how to view
I didn't see
that. Doesn't happen today. Troll not getting the Snapfire either, because he just gets men sent to his lane to help him. That Snapfire has a Maelstrom now. He's being charged, but I don't think anything will come of this.
Up to 20%. And then even if you don't take that absolutely nuts facet, which I think you'd be crazy not to, his other facet, the illusion facet, is also...
Hopefully they don't, like, have a triple lane stomp into a 20-minute match. I'm expecting some good, healthy Dota here, some good team fights. I don't know, maybe just Brawlhalla. Something everyone can enjoy.
Razor ban? No, there was no Razor ban. Not from my memory, anyway.
Because, like, if you think about it, Razor's very similar to the Snapfire in a lot of regards, except it just buys defensive items, whereas the Snapfire...
The lift?
The lift